Megan Rapinoe, the U.S. women's national team superstar, is quite well known for her spotlight moments, but all for the wrong reasons. Some may agree that these shenanigans are the only reason we call her a superstar today. Even Donald Trump had something to say about her and the U.S. women's national team.
It makes you lose, ruins your mind, and ruins you as a person. You become warped, you become demented. The U.S. women's soccer team is a very good example of what's going on.
This is just the start, so let's jump right into it. Here are the most embarrassing moments of Megan Rapinoe. Number 1. Kneeling during the national anthem.
Kneeling during the national anthem in an echoing nod to the San Francisco quarterback's controversial protest. Rapinoe took a knee as the Star-Spangled Banner played before her Seattle Reigns game against the Chicago.
We had to start with the moment which embarrassed the U.S. reputation the most by a player, when Megan decided to take a knee during the national anthem during the training, and then later in the matches as well. People heavily criticized this action, as the team is expected to take pride in representing their country in front of the world, rather than choosing not to back it up. During the game against the Netherlands, it was clearly visible that the team was not behind this movement, and was divided as some players kneeled, and others held their ground as the national anthem of their country played behind them. This move had fans throwing their hands up in a mix of confusion and concern, wondering what exactly was going on. Critics chimed in, arguing that representing the country calls for standing tall, not bending the knee. The team, once a united force, became a mosaic of players divided between those standing firm and those taking a knee, like a choreographed dance routine gone slightly awry. But amidst all the anthem-related drama, one thing's crystal clear. Megan Rapinoe knows how to keep the spotlight on her. Number 2. Exit from the World Cup. Next up is the most recent blunder made by Rapinoe in what is said to be the last game of her career with the national team. The U.S. women's national team made the quickest exit from the World Cup in their history on August 6th against Sweden after a penalty shootout, a match that could have been won if it wasn't for the blistering rocket of a penalty fired by Megan that went straight kaboom to the stands rather than the net. What happened next is what makes it an embarrassing moment. Megan had a laugh in front of the whole world, which is facing backlash to this day. Your team is about to get kicked out of the biggest tournament in their career, and you laugh after costing them that exit. This has to be the dumbest reaction by a player ever. The reaction wasn't received with a round of applause, to say the least. Backlash rained down, and the soccer community, already a cauldron of emotions, boiled over. Fans, analysts, and even casual observers couldn't fathom the laughter in the face of such a pivotal moment. It was like watching a superhero chuckle while the city crumbled around them. Number 3. Boasting about the World Cup trophy.
What do you have to say? What do you deserve?
I deserve this.
You deserve all of it. Everything. You deserve.
Of course, you deserve this, Megan, just like our viewers deserve to have a laugh after watching this video. What is even the point of embarrassing yourself like that during a celebration? Where are your brain cells, honey? Number 4. The autograph moment.
She belongs.
This moment of embarrassment was also a moment of curiosity for the fans, which started to question whether Megan Rapinoe's eyesight was as strong as her goal-scoring skills. Picture this. A young fan eagerly approaches, football in hand, hoping for a coveted Rapinoe autograph. But oh, what a plot twist awaited. In this comedic saga, the young fan approaches Megan with excitement, his anticipation heart-pounding. But alas, as the fan extends his football, Rapinoe seems to play a real-life game of Where's Waldo? Only, in this case, where's the fan? She scans the surroundings as if the autograph seeker was a hidden Easter egg. Meanwhile, the poor fan's hopeless gaze resembles someone waiting for their pizza delivery. Where is it? But no, it's just the soccer superstar appearing a bit lost herself. And then finally she signs the football, and yet still manages not to get her sight to the poor lad for even once, and still seems lost in her own world. Piersmorgan tweeted this, and called her out on the strange behavior with a fan, and a few more athletes were intrigued by that video. It was right after the team had won the World Cup, and this action caused the players' reputation to take a hit, as it sent a clear message that they simply don't care about the fans of the sport. Number 5. Equal pay demands. This is the height of Megan's career, where she decided to demand for equal pay for the women's team against the men's without having any clue about how the pay structure is designed, and how it was later exposed to be benefiting the women much more than the men's paying structure. Embarrassing much, Rapinoe? Megan said the following during an interview, which later led to debates against her demands.
4 World Cup championships. We've won 4 Olympic gold medals on behalf of this great country.
Megan also advocated for the same stuff during her speech at an event marking Equal Pay Day at the White House, where she mentioned that for each trophy, each win, and each time they play, they get paid less than men. This argument was immediately destroyed by the internet, where numerous videos came up explaining the pay gap, which depends on the revenue generated by women's and men's football. The Men's World Cup generated $6 billion in revenue in 2018, whereas the Women's World Cup generated only $131 million, and women players get outpaid 20% of total revenue, whereas men only get 7% of the total revenue. Number 6. Let the big boys humiliate us, because now they identify as women. Megan Rapinoe made quite the expected stance against the transgender ban on competing in women's sports. Megan stated that the trans is not stealing any trophies, and it would not cause any harm to the sport. Megan was immediately called out on her stance by Megynkelly, who said that Rapinoe is only being vocal when she is at the end of her career, having never competed against the trans athletes, and wants our daughters to compete against them, which is unfair. It has been noted in the Olympics that a trans swimmer, who was not even ranked in the top hundreds of the men's category, won against the women after switching their gender, which clearly shows how unfair it is for letting them compete in women's sports. Megynkelly stated that Rapinoe made millions of dollars while playing at a level playing field, and now suddenly she wants to change that and let biological men ruin the sport for the women's community. This had to be added to the embarrassing reels of Rapinoe, as it was worth a laugh. Imagine Sergio Ramos, the deadliest defender in the sport, deciding to change his gender and start competing against women. How would that end up? Certainly in leading the opponents in the hospital. Another ironic thing about this saga is that the U.S. women's national team competed against 15-year-old boys of FC Dallas and lost with a scoreline of 5-2. Number 7. White House invite rejection.
No, I'm not going to the White House. We're not going to be.
This gets on the embarrassing moments list, because who in their right mind would love to turn down the offer to visit the White House? It's like refusing to eat a free pizza. It's made no sense at all, and caused the entire team to face the outcome. Her why behind this decision has been debated around. Some argue it is a stance against the administration, while others claim it to be a calculated move to keep her activism in the spotlight. Not only did she refuse on her behalf, but she also included the entire team to back her decision. Many players would have surely loved to visit the White House, but they could not after her interview, as they decided not to speak up and stayed quiet. This caught the attention of Donald Trump, who was the president of the country at that time, and he tweeted in response stating, "Megan should never disrespect our country, the White House, or our flag, especially since so much has been done for her and the team. Be proud of the flag that you wear. The U.S. is doing great." Megan Rapinoe's choice to skip the White House stands as a big moment in her story. It's a choice with political weight, showing her focus on making a point. Her team's quiet agreement echoes her decision, stretching beyond soccer. Even Donald Trump's reply added to the story. This situation sits at the crossroads of sports and politics, reminding us how one person's decision can make waves in society.
Yeah, I mean, that's a sick joke. I can't believe that. I never even.
It's a clear sign of personal power and the effects it can have on the world around us. Another notable post by the president says, "The shocking and totally unexpected loss by the U.S. women's soccer team to Sweden is fully emblematic of what is happening to our once great nation under crooked Joe Biden. Many of our players were openly hostile to America. No other country behaved in such a manner, or even close. Woke equals failure. Nice shot, Megan. The USA is going to hell. MAGA." Number 8. Cutest Player of the Year Award. Imagine determining the year's best all-around player based on cuteness. In a Milan interview, Megan Rapinoe, a champion of equality who stresses recognizing women for their skills rather than looks,
Rapinoe should get to this. She does. Nice.
took an unexpected turn. She playfully suggested that the FIFA Best Player Award should go to Liverpool's defender, Virgil van Dijk. Solely for his cuteness. Behold the ultimate eyebrow raiser, a female athlete advocating for individual performance recognition based on club and international achievements, yet proposing cuteness as the criteria. The internet had a field day with this interview. Given Megan's history of controversial moments, critics and football fans alike seized the opportunity to mock her, although this might have simply been a lighthearted remark. Well, there you have it, guys. The embarrassing moments of Megan Rapinoe. Let us know in the comments which moment was your favorite, and which other player you would like to see under our radar. For Megan Rapinoe, we wish her a happy retirement. Apart from the notorious moments of her career, she did win the Women's World Cup back-to-back, and has a fantastic highlight reel to her legacy with the international team.